Here we have a lot of lettuce growing. This here is looking rather parched and dry. I'm going to make sure to get everything watered here soon. Lovely, large lettuce. I plan to let everything go to seed so I can save the seed or even direct sow it, but I don't like direct sowing before it's time to grow. I find that the birds tend to pick it clean. Nothing comes up except for maybe 5 plants. And I like to have a lot more on hand. Now, if you want to invite the birds into your garden, then that's a great way to do it. You could have them pick everything clean and clean out your bugs. I'm not really too sure how that works for me. I have bird feeders. Let me see if I can zoom it in. Oh, zoom it in here. Got bird feeders here in my yard to try to attract more birds in. But the thing is, I don't know how it's working for me. It's so new. So they did pick everything clean. I want to be able to have the birds come in and like get the critters and the bugs out of my garden for like natural pesticide, natural pest control. But I have not yet had them come through too much. I've seen a few birds here and there, but nothing much. Here I have purple bean growing. Isn't that amazing? Got an alarm going off on my phone here. Oh, sorry about that. Alright. Okay, we have a lot of arugula coming in. I've allowed them to go to seed because yes, I do want the seeds. I'm always picking greens every few days, a couple times a week. I come through and I pick as much as I can. I will put some in my omelets or other food and then just freeze the rest. And I'm trying harder to stockpile on just fresh produce from my garden. As you can see, if you look just past there, you've got more collards, more large-leafed food. I have more in here, more lettuce, raspberries, blueberry plants. Let's see here, tomatoes. I'm trying Cherokee tomatoes this year, purple Cherokee. I have never grown these. They're supposed to be big and purple and delicious. There's the tag. Purple, Cherokee purple or something like that. I'm a little nervous because I just hate waiting for the long grow season for tomatoes that grow like huge in your hands, large tomatoes. So I prefer the Roma or the cherry tomatoes because you can access them faster, eat them faster. This here is random stuff from my kid that was playing with it earlier, and a project that I'm working on. Basically, we swept off the roof, and so we have a lot of old compost style stuff, but the issue here is it has some roofing material in it, and we plan to dump it, get rid of it, because we're not going to put that in nature. Here's some more raspberry plants. I do not see any berries growing on here. I believe it's just because I just saved it, transplanted it this year. Here we have the green onions. I find they do better when they are thinned and separated. When they grow big, sometimes they don't do well. But if you have plenty of soil, like, a deep pot, it does okay. I am trying something new this year, which is, let's take a look at it. Here we go. Trying to grow cantaloupe. My guess is I need to give it more fertilizer. It definitely needs watering. This is very dry. Everything's dry right now. I've got a surprise tomato plant down the bottom. Actually, I think I thought it was a flower and ended up not being one. There's another weed in here. Get that out. Let's see, I've got a lot of lettuce available to harvest soon. Here we go again with the seeds. I'm trying to let everything go to seed. I like spinach, but I never seem to get enough seeds when I order them. And by doing it this way, I'm definitely going to have enough. Just the plan. Some sad looking tomato that I've got to water soon. And transplant, actually. There's like 5 plants in here. I'm sort of out of soil, so I'm having a hard time with finding the space for the latest. More cantaloupe, more cantaloupe. A whole tub full of onion greens. Lots and lots. Here we have actual raspberries growing from what I dug up and planted in my own yard. So it's not horribly impressive, but I've got something growing, and I can actually save it, bring it with me to wherever I move to, and plant it in the ground, and instead of have them start propagating on their own. Here's some more collard. Really large after the rain we got last night. Although you can't tell that we got rain now because of the soil is so dry. The alarm going off again. Oops. Alright, here we go. Let's see. I've got a... Nope, this one does not have a tomato coming in on the side. Sometimes I get volunteers that pop up. Eggplant. Eggplant growing. More collard. All the same. Just large. I've just been growing a larger amount of food. Less variety, less types of vegetables, but like more of each. So I have zucchini, lettuce, greens like collards and arugula. Let's see, trying to get my eggplant going, but some of them are quite small. Take you over here. Just move this plant here out of here. I want to see how we do growing some in here so that it has access to more water compared to everybody here. I wanted to use all the space I had. I don't love these grow bags. The tar gets hot, and then sitting it on a hot tar, it dries them out. So they don't stay hydrated. Not like totes or buckets. But it's still something holding soil. I can still water it, it still grows, but just a little bit more extra work. These here, marigolds. Sorry, not sure if that's too close. Looks like we're just getting ready to start having a head come in, flower head. Looking forward to that. It's going to be beautiful. This here is my start attempt at a wildflower garden because I never remember to water it as often as the rest. But I do have yarrow, what do you call these? Wild violets, basically. Violets. They are dying out. But I had a whole bunch all greenery in here. But those are dying out. I have these stupid little windmills that are always falling down. They're cute until these little dinky little metal things come out and then they don't stay in. So they're kind of cheap and they don't work very well. Or they get played with kids and, you know, they get broken. Here we have comfrey. This we use for salves, for healing bones and skin and wounds. Not open wounds. You want to be sure they're cleaned out. But I have multiple plants in here now. Oh geez, probably more than 3. Looks like 4. And it's starting to divide itself by reproducing, and I've stopped pinching off the flower heads. So if I don't pinch these off, these have the ability to also spread seeds. You can also eat the leaves right here from the daisy plants. These are edible for wild foraging. I kind of like to try to have some of these things on hand. Looks like I just spilled seed or something on me. Possible. So there's not much going on in this garden. I had to cut back my lavender because it was a lot of dead growth. So like this here, so dead. Not very healthy or whatever. When I cut it back, I started to see some growth. As you can see, I've got some weeds. Let's get a few of those out, or all of them, while I'm at it. I give it a little bit more water for that plant when I do water. I tend to like to save this for food for my garden and help it like break down into nutrients. I will bury it in the soil with like what do you call it? Let's see. Just directly composting in the ground instead of going through all the processes of trying to get it to break down in a compost pile. So what I do is sort of shove it down there and cover it over with little soil or whatever you have here. And then when I water, I tend to water in this spot so that it keeps breaking down underneath. You know, water everything, but I try to make sure. This year I'm noticing we've had a few zucchini not take. I've been hand pollinating, mostly because I want to make sure everything has a chance, and also because I don't really know how many bees we have this year. Seems like we don't have much. And if you take a look, I do have some growing. Got a flower here. I got a nice one growing here. But this one down here is not looking good. Let's see, we have some growing in the back. 2, 3. Got a bunch growing. These are all regular zucchini Black Beauty. These 4 were from the house, grown indoors, from March until now.